So this basically this sutta is in conjunction with conscious clinging. Okay. So the basic thing we need to understand is who is holding whom. Is Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo is holding the consciousness, or the consciousness is holding Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo. So the practice here, what Buddha is saying is, please understand who is holding on to whom. So when you say Viraga, it's for whom? It's not for Patavi. It's always in Viraga. It's the mind which is holding on to it. So then the question comes, should you go in isolation? Should you go in seclusion? All of that. Yes. You have to go in a mental seclusion. If you can do a physical seclusion, it is good. But you have to seclude from sensual pleasures. Okay. So the clinging, Upaya Sutta. So holding on to is the experience, which is Vedana. So as long as that exists, the consciousness takes the Rupa, takes the Vedana, takes the Sanya, takes the Sankhara, like that. And that is the premise on which we are trying to deal with the dukkha. Okay. So basically, where do you see dukkha? In everything. We spoke about that, so there's no point in going back again and again. So the litmus test for all of us is whether you're able to see Patavi, earth, apart from you, not part of you. Neso mama, neso amasmi, neso name atta. So can you be able to do that? If yes, yes, I'm able to do it, then you are relieved of holding on to Patavi. So the strain or the pain is gone. What does that mean? Any frame you're seeing, any frame, body frame, can you get rid of the body frame? And just keep identification as an identification rather than anything to do with a person. So that should be a continuous practice. Then we are on Dhamma. Anyone, any questions before we go even more further? No question? So then what happens is then we come out of emotions. So what he says is that the body is such that fish, so stone, sticks, and swords strike it. I'm just reading through the sutta so that we still go into it. So then he's saying Aradham ko paname viryam bhavisati asallinam upattita sati asamutta pasadho kayo asaradho samahitam chittam ikkagam. So let my energy be roused up and unflagging, my mindfulness established and lucid, my body tranquil and undisturbed, and mind immersed in samadhi. Chitta ekagata, the very key word, chitta. Now there's 4 stages. The first stage is we see arising right now, not ceasing, which we already covered many number of times. Yesterday also I covered that up. Secondly, you are able to see the ceasing. So today Ravindra tried it. So and Aryu has tried it. but I don't know how far has he progressed beyond that. The third stage is that you get it like a frame coming and frame going. That's actually anicca, arising and passing. So the frame per second slows down, showing that this is falling, a new one appears in its place. Then that falls, a new one appears. That falls, a new one appears. Everywhere, not only this body, any tree, any plant, any creeper, any stone, any rock, whatever it is, you should be able to see frame per second. There is disjoining and joining. How do we know? Simple. You take breath. There is disjoining and joining. How? In breath, stop. Out breath, stop. It's not like this. Stops. The breath stops. Can stop for a millisecond. It's fine. That's the reason your HRV is showing. Otherwise, there's no need for an HRV. It's not stopping anywhere, then there's no need for an HRV or heartbeat, BPM. All of that is not required. So when I say I'm having a beat per minute, there is a start and there's a stop. And I'm measuring between start and stop. Right? That's what HRV is. Heart rate variability, how much it can vary. The longer it is, the better it is. The shorter it is, the worse it is. Got the point? So when you say I'm stressed, it means that heart is beating pretty fast. It's almost like going like this. So it should go like this, stop, open up, stop, open up. So the blood is being pushed, pushed like that. And the child is also getting pushed, right? So the doctor says, push. You see the stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. And that stop, start stage is what you should get. Everything stops at that moment and starts. And the third stage is stillness, where the mind has stopped. So that is the Buddha, what he's saying in this sutta, chittasa ekagata, aradha virya. That is, you bring in so much of effort that the chitta is stopped. Now let's take satipatthana. You keep on watching the breath, you come into chitta anupassana, wherein chitta sankhara pati samvedi, asasi samiti sikkati. He learns how to understand the chitta sankhara, which is feeling and perception. So basically, chitta sankhara is going to stop because the breath is stopping. So it's not that I do kaya, then I do vedana, then I do chitta, then I do dhamma. No. When you're starting with kaya, the kaya cannot work without chitta. Can anything be like that? Can there be an independent existence of a body other than chitta? No. Can ever that happen? Meaning, without consciousness, the body can stay. Is it possible? No. So if there's no conscious experience, there's no body either. So we need to understand in a proper perspective. There are some people who feel that first you have to do kaya anupassana, then you have to do vedana anupassana, then you have to do chitta anupassana, then dhamma anupassana. It's not possible. Okay. So what are we trying to achieve is get into a samadhi state where you can see the stopping of the kaya, chitta. They both stop together. And if they were to start, they start together. Because intention is there in chitta, not in kaya. Kaya has no idea what you are doing. Then we say body has intelligence. Is that true? Body knows how to heal. They fail to see that the consciousness knows how to heal it, not the body. But since we don't know it, we say body has intelligence. Then the rock should have intelligence. It knows how to come back. So the rock falls down. It should say, hey, sorry, I think I by mistake fell down. So let me go up where I was. No, it can't. Why? The discriminatory power is in consciousness. That means if anything that should happen in terms of removal of defilements should happen where? Should happen in chitta, not in kaya. So then in the chitta, it should become evident that the body, when we say body, is nothing but patavi, which is nobody's. So it gives up. Who gives up? Chitta. Who else? The body will not give up anything because there's nothing which is its holding. When we say a person is dead, is the body holding on to that consciousness or consciousness holding on to the body? They bring the dead body. But who is dead? Somebody inside that has gone. And we say the dead body. But the body has been there as it is. It never did anything. So the parivartana, changes, is happening in the body because of the food. If you eat too much food, it becomes fat. If it becomes less food, it becomes lean. If you don't eat any food, then it will die. Who will die? Body will die? No. Body has got nothing to do with death. The consciousness cannot stay in the body. Simple. Any questions? I'm entering into a very deeper aspect of it. So if you have a question, let me know. All are silent. Good. Yes. Archana, go ahead.
Sir, you said one should observe like frame by frame. So is it like uh, we should be aware of it? Ki, okay, it's happening like this because to actually see to that level, that stage is yet to come. So one should be aware of it. Okay, it's continuously changing. So that way, are we trying to be aware of it?
Yeah, the best way to see it is that go to YouTube and see frame by frame. Like if you have
Acha,
photographs, if you have
acha.
photographs,
Uh-huh.
let's say you have photographs and you've taken at each moment you have taken one photo, right? If you flip what happens? It becomes like a motion picture, correct?
Right, right.
That's exactly what is happening now. As we speak,
Okay.
that's exactly what's happening. Why that? You go to any song. I was showing to Ravindra. Now you are not able to see frame by frame. Agree. You should see it, but you're not able to see it. Not a big deal. Try to observe. Take a song, some song, and then try to stop, start, stop, start, stop. So you can see the person is doing it like that, right? That's exactly what's happening. One frame went, a new frame came. That frame went, a new frame came. So if there is a music in the background, the music will never be heard because the mind is doing the music for you. It is adding back the music, but it's not there. So you
So
understand?
like yeah, so this is practice on our like by when we see something, some movie or some song or something like on TV or YouTube. And now my colleague is coming, she's talking to me, so I should try to observe that the same thing there also,
How do
right?
you do that? Simple. Watch this mouth.
Yes.
What happens? It comes up, goes, opens, close, open, close, open, close. Keep on watching it. And the illusion is broken. Then you start to see that person like a puppet show. Like I'm doing like this, kept, and I did like this, kept back, did like this, kept back. It's like a robotic, right? But who is doing that robotic? It's a consciousness. The body is not doing it.
Mhm.
Body has nothing to do with doing that. Example, how? Let us say you have a catch here. You want to do like this, that because that's pain. Who is in pain? Is the body in pain or is the consciousness in pain? The body alignment is not okay. So the conscious experience is coming that this is pain, right? Dukkha Vedana. So who has a knowledge of Dukkha Vedana? Consciousness. Who else? If I do like this, touch my arm and I fold my arm, I'm just saying this is my arm, but actually what's happening? Is stretched by the consciousness and this is bent by the consciousness. Even in a dead person, if you hold it here, it starts to move. If you have seen that there is a particular tissue here, you just pull it, this starts to pull. Okay. Now we can say, oh, this is happening without consciousness. Yes, that's correct. But this movement is happening because there is a conscious intention to move it. This is sankhara. So you intend to stretch your arm, you intend to pull back the arm. Otherwise, the body will not do anything by itself. So body has no intelligence on its own to decide whether I should do like this or I should sit like how Bobby is sitting like this or hold like this or hold like this. It doesn't have. It doesn't even know what Bobby is doing. But wherever you do like this, there is a touch. What it is touching, you're feeling hot, warm. So Bobby can shift the experience from hand touching to just roughness and hardness and heat and cold. So what the consciousness now does is it does a miracle thing. It drops off this and takes up that. And that is yatha bhuta jnana. When I do like this, so then what am I doing? I know what I'm doing. That is yatha bhuta jnana. That is, there's an intention to hold like this. That means it is not unconscious, it's conscious. Now there is beard in him. I've also started growing some beard. Okay. Now when I hold it like this, it pinches here. I really don't know why people grow beard. It's so irritating on the fingers. So then I remember Kajjaniya Sutta, where Buddha says, Rupati iti rupa. It's afflicted, it pains actually. If you keep on holding like this, slowly you remove the hand. Why? Because it's painful. Now you keep your hand here on the thighs. Watch that you have kept it on the thighs. Now, after some time, you'll again hold it like this. Then again, you do like this. So, isn't it frame by frame? But not continuous like what I'm seeing? That's okay. But can you maintain that frame by frame? As if you're doing like this, I'm doing like this, I'm doing like this. All of those is a frame because the previous
Right.
frame was this, new frame is this,
Mm.
right? And I'm doing this, doing this, doing this. Each is a frame. What happens when consciousness wants to join it together and then the nerves as conscious? See, when we say who is experiencing, the body experience is in the nerves, right? So if the nerves were to be cut, then what happens? There's no experience at all. Say somebody falls down so badly that the nerves have become numb in that place. So will he have any consciousness there? No. It becomes a log of wood. Okay, now like some people who have got gangrene, the maggots are coming out from the leg or from whichever part of the body. How is that happening? Have you ever wondered how can maggots come from a feet or from whatever place? Have you ever thought? Here is a step. Step one, the consciousness pulls off. Step two, the body starts to rot. Step three, the pus starts to get formed. Step four, the housefly will start to lay the egg. Step five, the houseflies, whatever, that egg starts to hatch. Step six, it starts to eat that filthy thing. Step seven, it starts to come out. But is a person feeling maggots? No. He's in horror, or he or she is in horror, but nothing he can do because that has no consciousness. So here we can see body has no intelligence. If it had, it would have corrected it. So what do? Go to the doctor. And doctor says, you know what? We have to amputate your leg. No, doctor, please do something. No, sir, I'm telling you, this fill is completely gone. Now your feet is of no use. So we will cut it till you don't have any consciousness. Okay. In half an hour time, that person's limb is severed. Then they put a bandage after 15, 20 days because that portion has consciousness, it heals. Right? And why this one did not heal? Then we say he had high sugar. Fine. How did the sugar happen? Let's understand. Step one, blood is liquid. Step two, add sugar to it. Step three, as soon as you add sucrose to it, or glucose, or liquid to it, it becomes thick. Step four, as it thickens, so it slows down the circulation. Step five is that the oxygenated blood doesn't enter into six important organs in the body, starting with brain, eyes, kidneys, heart, liver, pancreas, intestine. Okay. Then the kidney is not able to remove the bad thing. Okay. And then what happens? If there is no oxygenated blood, meaning the blood has oxygen, it's in its place, it is replaced with carbon dioxide because of sugar. So what happens? The blood cells starts to die because it doesn't have oxygen. And then what happens? Brain decides to shut down, which it thinks should shut down. What it does? Very simple. It cuts the limb off because it feels that that is a waste thing. So most of the people get gangrene in leg. It's called gangrene, but actually what's happening is dead. That piece is no longer live. So can you now see that there is no you at all? So Buddha is right. There is no fixed Atma. If it was, would it allow this leg to rot? It's just consciousness coming and consciousness going. Why it went? Because of the blood oxygen not being there, it couldn't reach the nerves. And nervous system is the one which talks to the brain. And since there is no nervous inputs coming, brain shut it down. Over. Now this guy has to go for amputation. So what Buddha says? Haven't I told you simile of the saw? If some robbers were to take you and cut your limbs and hands, see it like that. You're feeling it because of consciousness. If there were no consciousness, will you feel anything? No. In fact, you'll be more than happy for him to cut it. Like we take our dentist Tina. What she does, she will first put an injection, anesthetic. So will you feel the teeth? No. Will you feel the gums? No. Do you feel the nerves in between the gums? No. Wow. Can she take a different instrument and do 100 different things on that? Yes. Why? Because the nerves have gone numb. It's lost consciousness. You can do whatever you want now. Same thing with the pregnant woman. Same thing with everyone. So, is consciousness then stays permanently? No. Isn't it a conditioned consciousness? Yes. So, did you understand Buddha Dhamma in that case? And the answer should be yes, because it's frame by frame which is getting stitched. First frame went, second frame came, third frame, fourth frame, like that. Yes, Bobby.
Let's see this skin, this hair, nail, all these things has consciousness.
No.
They don't have, right?
Otherwise, they will not fall. Have you ever cried on a falling of a hair, Bobby? Nobody would even go for a haircut in that case. Oh my God, my hair!
This for basic first outer sides of your body. You know, this is the first contemplation of a monk, it seems.
Yes, 5.
5 years.
Kesa, Loma, Naka, Danta, Tacho.
Yeah, they all don't have consciousness, right?
None of the 32 body parts have consciousness. Forget about only 5.
What do you mean by 30? Because inside things, like as you said, like when it is,
They have no consciousness. There is consciousness, but they don't have consciousness. They can't behave on their own. They do what is said to them. Have you seen any? Okay, now we have to go to cell level explanation. Have you seen any red blood cell becoming white blood cells because they didn't like to be red blood cells? Today I don't like. Today is Tuesday. See, generally on Tuesdays, you know what? I don't like to be an RBC. I want to be WBC. Have you ever heard something like that? And another thing, Bobby, 120th day, these red blood cells commit suicide. Have you heard about it? Go and ask Merin. They commit suicide. There is already programmed for them to kill themselves. And it will be replaced by another red blood cell. It takes over. Okay. So each cell has their own shelf life. So whatever you're saying, I am, those went away every 120th day. Tata, bye bye. Bobby, thanks for being such a company. I love you. They die on their own. No, they commit to it. What about white blood cells? Same. What about T cells? Same. You call it by whatever names, T, B, M, P, whatever you want to give. But basically, those are living organisms and they die. They die faster than what you think. But how do they die? Because the consciousness is removed from them. That's it. You tell me one thing, Bobby. We speak so much. Why should platelet level come down? Why you can't increase platelets? Why you want somebody to give blood to you? Just think. Is that yours? Somebody's. Is somebody a Brahmin, a Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, or Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, Jain? No, no, I will only accept blood from Buddhist because it belongs to Buddha days. Boss, platelets not being there, you will become photo. Take the blood from whoever is giving you. So obviously, so he was having 120,000 platelets. Suddenly it has come to 7,000 platelets, almost on the verge of death. Why he can't cure it then? It means those platelets died. That means some virus or some organism is able to change the topology of that cell that they all died. Just see this frame by frame. So nothing belongs to you or me or anyone, including the consciousness. So if we start seeing like this, then we see what is Buddha trying to say, or here in this case, Sariputta trying to say. It's not yours. If that is not true, then why so many hospitals are required? They can just shut it down, saying that nobody falls sick anyway, or like that. So they don't have intelligence. It's the consciousness which knows it. And that's the reason in that Kajaniya Sutta only Buddha says, what does consciousness know? It knows this is sugar, sweet, this is sour, this is astringent, this is salty, this is not salty, like that. It doesn't restrict only to that. He just gave an example to understand what is consciousness. Anything that can be recognized is consciousness. So all cells have cognitive state because brain has brain cells. So cells have cognition. They can cognize. And what do? Before dying, they will pass that to the next red blood cell or a white blood cell or a brain cell or a this cell or that cell and say goodbye. Okay, son, I'm leaving. Bye bye. Daddy, you can't do this to me. I've already done it, my dear son. What will happen to me? Exactly like what I did now. It's not concessions. Whatever you are writing, Veena, I couldn't understand what it means. But anyway.
Consciousness, I asked.
Yeah, Vijnana.
Consciousness, is it?
Vijnana is consciousness.
Is it right?
Vijnana, it is, you have put something, but anyway, leave it. It's consciousness in English. So, this is the basic thing we need to understand. So, who has to get rid of what? The consciousness has to get rid of Patavi, not the other way around. Patavi will not get rid of consciousness because it doesn't even know what you are talking about. The consciousness has to get rid of Patavi. Eso na mama is not for Patavi. It doesn't even know that you exist. It doesn't know. So Patavi doesn't know. It's you who know it is Patavi. So you come out of it. Neso mama, neso ahamasmi. This doesn't belong to me. Obviously, will you take shit and again put it back in your mouth? Just think. It went from inside but came down, which you will not like it. I will tell an interesting story after stopping recording. Okay, so you can take it as a contemplation subject, which happened in that home. Okay. So basically, let me pause the recording for a second and I'll tell you the story. And then we wanted to give people the taste of Dhamma, practical. That if you were to come to this home, you will be experiencing every damn thing. Okay. So basically,
Was that part of the retreat or
it
just
seemed
suddenly
like
happened?
that. Actually, it happened like that.
Will everybody coming in future also will have this opportunity?
Yeah, opportunity to have a Chanel perfumes. No, he has gone beyond Anagami. That's the reason he stopped talking. Now he has seen, oh, Jati pi dukkha, Jara pi dukkha, Vyadi pi dukkha, Maranam pi dukkham, Appiyehi sampayogo dukh. See that? Appiyehi sampayogo dukkho. Piyehi vipayogo dukkho. If he had stayed in Mumbai, he wouldn't have been able to see this. Yam picchan nalabati tampi dukkham. What I don't wish, I get it, but what I wish, I don't get it. Sankittena panchupadana khanda dukkha. In summary, is this five aggregates dukkha. And in fact, we couldn't go to that room. We closed the door. It was so nice fragrance. I was wondering why people don't like it. In fact, we could have used it as a meditation place. But that color, the dye, and it is coming out of a body, it's okay. But what is inside the body is this. Isn't it a good way to contemplate? And my wife is saying, let's put Dettol, let's put this, let's put that. Yeah, we should. But know that that's what is inside. So, what is inside is coming outside. Disgusting matter. Like that. So, Buddha says, look at this. So, Bobby, to answer to your question, all the 32 parts of the body are of the same. It's not what Ajahn gives for the monks 5 to practice. That's correct. Out of 32. It's more of a Ajahn way of doing. Api, yes. So, anyway, so you understood, right? Okay, that's all for today on this Mahahatti Pada Upama Sutta. That you have to come out of this. See, she did, and my friend did. But when water came, what happened? The solidity is gone. Yes, you can see it. So there's no permanent solidity. If it happened at Aryu's home, what a life it would have been. Because he has an automatic one. You sit on that thing, if it doesn't work, add it. It is only making sound, some with LED bulbs glowing here, there, but nothing is coming. What a pain, what a pity that you are done. At least in India, you have a bucket. You can fill with water. At Aryu's home, there is not even a bucket. So what do? You can't come out. You can't sit there. Yes, sir.
That's why during COVID time, I think the first thing that went out of stock is toilet papers because
Ye-
people cannot buy them. They rush to buy all the toilet papers.
Yeah. See, Costco, we went to Costco. We had so much of toilet paper. My goodness, I was just looking at it. Wow, a whole warehouse of toilet paper. Why? It's painful. You have to rub that thing every day, minimum once. What a pain. Whatever you eat comes in that shape, in that smell. Why don't you use it as a perfume? Estee Lauder. Nice perfume, actually. I think if somebody wants seclusion, you just put that spray and nobody will come near you. You're secluded from all the things. Not even a dog will bark at you. So you have to change the Chanel and this Estee Lauder to fill with that. That's it. Nobody stays. All gone. Anyway, this is the truth. No matter how much we cover it up, that's the one which is there. And you can't do anything. Nobody can do anything. Okay, any questions? Otherwise, we can end for today and meet tomorrow on the deeper aspect of this sutta. No questions? All good? What is there to ask question on a sheet? How does it come? From where does it come? Why does it come? No, everyone knows it. That knower is consciousness. It knows. Yes, sir.
Just a random question. I wonder, can someone become so aware that they are aware of how the body, these cells intend to fix themselves and all that?
Yes, you can. At Arhat, yes, you should be. because you are
So
seeing it.
the red cell is trying to go there, and that this white cell is trying to go there.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually speaking, it's a good question. If you really see how the cells work and the mitochondria and all of that, if you really see it, they have their own structure. They follow the structure. They're ordered and disordered as well. When they get disorder, they becomes cancerous. If they're in order, they are doing what they're supposed to be doing. So when we say leukemia, blood cancer, what it really means is that the number of cells that can be housed in a particular place overshoots the estimate. So they start feeding on themselves. And the entire blood chain will now undergo that. So sugar is one of the cause for blood cancer because sugar is food. So the cells start overeating. And sugar diet, sugar thing is Coke, Pepsi, all of that. Plus 12 spoons of sugar in every small tin. So it's like you're pouring over a free flow water this shit thing, which makes it more slow and slow and slow, and cells starts to expand because it's not getting oxygenated blood, so it start expanding. Then what happens? It start consuming. So when we say blood sugar, it's the amount of sugar in the blood. And then the doctor said, don't eat rice and wheat and this and that. That's not the problem. The problem is thickness of the blood. So by exercising means what? You're burning it. So the more you burn it, meaning there's a consumption, the sugar level comes down because it goes out of the system. So then the blood becomes more thinner. So it can flow easily into the vessels. That's the thing. So sugar is poison. Not poison per poison, but it's poison as far as the blood goes because it increases carbon dioxide. Because sugar is what? Carbon, more of carbon. You can burn sugar. Have you seen it? You just put it in fire, it burns black. Okay, so, and you see the syrups, they would have written on the packet, sugar syrup, corn syrup, right? What does that mean? That is a preservative. Why does it preserve? Why do you require sugar to preserve? Because it breaks down slowly. And hence, every artificial flavored drink or food or whatever it is, they have to add sugar. That's the best preservative to hold on to that food. Anyway, that's the thing. We can see how consciousness is and how matter is. Matter has no consciousness, but consciousness knows the matter. So the objective here is to make the consciousness understand you are not this body. Once it knows it, it throws it out. Because that's what it is doing at death. It just gets out of the body. And takes another one. Instead of that, you're cutting the fuel. So no fire. That's raga, dvesha, and moha is the fuel. You cut the fuel, no fire. Extinguished. So Buddha Dhamma is a fire extinguisher. Or rather, we can say consciousness extinguisher. And that's the reason one monk comes and starts fighting with Buddha that you are teaching annihilationist. Because a real being is killed, annihilation. But what Buddha says, I don't teach annihilation, I teach liberation from suffering. Okay, so let's end. Meet you tomorrow. Good night. Oh, good night, good afternoon, good morning. Bye.